You must have figured this out by now. Our show is all about cultural diversity. While we do give importance to Indian heritage and culture, we also believe that understanding world culture is just as important. Welcome to Colors of India. Let's take a quick look at the main stories this week. Kuwait's traditional folk music. The evolution of Kalighat paintings. And summer concert by the CCMs. Travelling on the path less taken, we bring you music from territories rarely explored. Kuwaiti traditional folk music.
The Kuwaiti Cultural Week was one of a kind. In a bid to further promote cultural ties between the two nations, the cultural exchange started off with an exhibition.
India had done its cultural week in Kuwait in 2009, and this is being done by Kuwait in India on a reciprocal basis. And I'm quite confident that with this week, we will develop a better understanding of the Kuwaitis culture, people, which is quite similar to what we have really here, and we have a very strong interaction with them over many centuries.
What followed was even more fascinating. Adorning Dish Dasha, or the traditional Kuwaiti dress, the members of the Kuwaiti TV band presented a series of peppy Kuwaiti folkloric songs, all of them praising Allah.
I'm testing well how Kuwait is very much present in the Indian society, even though we are a small country. But of course, this back to the kindness of the Indian citizen. We have really achieved a very well-rooted relations with India in various areas, politically, economically, commercially, and I think now we shouldn't forget about the cultural matter, and we have to create opportunities to showcase and bring about our culture before the Indian society.
This performance was a show stealer. The singers danced, clapped their hands and swayed rhythmically to the music. And the enthusiastic audience, most of them Kuwaiti delegates, were filled with joy at the sight of the wind-swept Kuwaiti flags used throughout the performance.
التشابه طبعا الغناء يختلف لأن اللهجة تختلف ولكن بعض الإيقاعات شوي متقاربة لأن الأجداد القدامى طبعا يروحون الغوص ويروحون البحر فطبعا في أشهر يستقرون في الهند فهنا يعني ياخذون بعض الإيقاعات فشيء يركب يعني الإيقاع الهندي تقريبا شوية قريب على الإيقاعات الشعبية يعني.
Traditional instruments like the daf, bingis, oud and drums were used to support this foot tapping music. At the very end of the show, the band had a happy surprise for the Indian audience. The performance of a Hindi song, Bol Radha Bol.
Wasn't that really a cross-border treat? It's now time for us to take a small break on Colors of India. Don't go anywhere because we'll be back in a jiffy.
Coming up, velvety Odyssey moves and some spirited music.
Welcome back. At the turn of the 19th century, rural artists from Bengal made Kalighat in Kolkata their home. Their paintings, which started off as temple souvenirs, soon evolved into a powerful political statements.
For those interested in art, the day could not have gone any better. At NGMA's Gallery Walk, one got to listen to the story of Kalighat paintings from the experts themselves. Ila Datta and Rajiv Lochan.
Simple girls from simple families are able to make this monumental personality called Krishna dance over a small cup of so vibrantly.
Interestingly, the evolution story of these paintings is there for all to see. In the beginning, it was about gods and goddesses, and with each painting bearing an uncanny resemblance to the people of Calcutta.
It's like cross-pollination of sensibilities that we believe in, and that's what it's all about. Well, as far as this exhibition is concerned, this is the fourth and the largest padao of this exhibition.
When the art evolved, it took on a satirical outlook. The focus of the paintings shifted to educated Bengali babus who aped the British. Men wore shoes and played the violin. And soon the Western influence was so strong that the Bengali babu lived the British life.
Well, this is a fabulous exhibition that gives us insight into times, because I consider that works of art are the only and true living examples of what society behaved like and what it believed in and what were its aspirations and what was the silent man's critique of it. And this is what is wonderfully spelt out in a very lucid pictorial fashion as part of this exhibition.
The babu, his biwi, courtesans, hypocritical Brahmins and the changing face of Calcutta. This is what the Kalighat paintings are all about. Looking at the modern take of these styles, one can easily see many relatable images as well.
These paintings were more of a cultural comment on the changing urban society of 19th century Calcutta. Now, the first thing that pops into your mind when you think of Odissi is the highly evolved dance technique. And in case you don't remember, allow us to refresh your memory.
Odissi is as many as 2000 years old, originating from the temples of Orissa. Sudha Mukhopadhyay and Odissi dancers brought to life some of the most elegant moves of this dance form. As she began with a piece choreographed by legendary Odissi dancer Kelucharan Mahapatra. The piece was called Mangal Charan, where the dancer offers flowers to Lord Ganesha along with a threefold salutation.
आजकल काफ़ी चेंजेस आए हैं, सब अपना अपना कोरियोग्राफी, सब अपना एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं सभी में। तो मैं एक्चुअली समय के साथ ही चलती हूँ, बट मैं ट्रेडिशन में ज़्यादा विश्वास रखती हूँ कि उसको कैसे हम कायम रखें, एकदम मॉडर्न नहीं होना चाहिए।
One of the most characteristic features of Odissi is the Tribangi, where the body posture is divided into three parts: head, back and torso. Tribangi sets Odissi apart from other classical Indian dance forms, and Sudha depicted this through Pallavi, which means to elaborate. This piece was based on Rag Hamsadhwani. The themes of Odissi are almost exclusively religious in nature. They most commonly revolve around Lord Krishna. Sudha chose to perform on Ashtapadi Madhav from Geet Govind. She played the role of Radha. As a jealous Naika, Radha waits all night for Krishna. When he finally arrives at the crack of dawn, Radha senses that Krishna has been with other women all night. Devastated, she asks him to leave her alone, and Krishna in turn tries to please her.
It was to the classical dictum of rhythm, of bhava, expression, and the timing. And it's full of what is called lasya, that is the beauty of the dance, the movements.
Sudha's was an intense and passionate performance where her movements and postures reminded one of some of the great masters of Odissi.
There was a certain velvety fluidity in the way she performed, and in fact her Tribangi looked like one single unbroken line of grace. Now it's time for us to take a small break on Colours of India. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back.
And on the other side, a bright splash of colour and some spirited music.
Welcome back. A work of art is a unique result of a unique temperament. I quote Oscar Wilde.
Mocha Art House Cafe at the DLF Promenade Mall, Delhi is a place where you can stop for coffee and also enjoy a multi-level experience that fuses contemporary art and ecstatic culture with food and coffee. Sharmishta Datta's art exhibition, Euphoria, is currently on display there. Sharmishta was an art director in an advertising agency before she was taken over by the urge to paint. Euphoria is an insight into her passion, which runs really deep.
What comes to your mind first when you see so much of color? It's energy, it's huge explosion of, a burst of energy, I would say. And joy, of course, is why I named it Euphoria.
She is fascinated by abstraction. In abstract art, one does not portray a person, place or thing. Instead, it is all about the creation of the art and what runs in the mind of the artist. And according to Sharmishta, that is where the excitement really is.
They definitely bring a different dimension to, your experience of being in a public place like this. Definitely catches your eye when you enter into a room like this. And, something that is definitely in the back of your mind, even if you're sitting, even if you're standing, chilling with your friends. I think it's a very good concept.
Acrylic is used as the medium, and her work is done on canvas, glass and wood using bright, happy shades. Clearly, this exhibition is a color blast for the enchanted observer.
when we are having coffee, we are in a way relaxing our mind, and then we are looking at the paintings. Two things can happen. Either you are more relaxed looking at the painting, or you try to find out that what is the main reason behind this painting, that what actually triggered this painting or this idea or this pattern. And so I am the second category. Like now I'll be thinking, okay, what did she have in her mind that she made this thing, that this pattern came out, this color combination, and you know. So that's the thing about it.
She also uses three-dimensional techniques in her arts. Using wood, she has created layers, giving her art a new face and a certain vibrancy.
Sipping on a hot cup of coffee and observing beautiful artworks. Now that can be relaxing. During the peak summer, Delhi's very own choir group, the Capital City Minstrels, are always ready to enchant people with their amazing music.
Hallelujah, glory, hallelujah, Lord, we're coming down into the sea, hallelujah.
Capital City Minstrels, or the CCMs as this choral group is called, believes that there is more to singing in harmony than just hitting the right notes at the right time. The summer concert with German conductor Carolyn Remy was a musical journey into history, exploring the varied traditions of Christian music.
Most of the theme was on African American, spirituals and gospel music, and the ethos behind this kind of music.
While vigor and exuberance conquered the evening, the choir's focus was also on the genre of spirituals, the genesis of which can be tracked back to the African slaves in America. Spontaneously played and sung, spirituals are distinguished by the offbeat rhythm of the melody. Deep River was one such rendition.
I wanted to choose some music for the audience, also that they have fun, they can enjoy it, and so I think to choose gospels and spirituals and the African songs, it was a good choice, and it was also so much fun to sing it and to conduct it.
While there was a heady mix of energetic carols, the CCMs were careful to give intermittent pauses.
In Jerusalem, just like John, I want to be ready, I want to be ready.
The audience were thus able to take in Hungarian Christian songs that were slow and soft, with minimal use of instruments and at times with no music at all.
In Jerusalem, just like John, I want to meet my Jesus. I want to meet my Jesus. I want to meet my Jesus. Going to live with God.
The high point of the evening was the Sufi music category, where a Hindi song was sung solo.
one thing I really love about this group is like they forget who they are. They are just one big happy family, and irrespective of where they come from, what they do, or what they aspire to be, you know, they all just love singing. And I think to be able to share this beautiful gift of music with such a wonderful group.
Out of the suffering of the black people, a song is born. The liberating power of the gospel took on a new meaning in Siyahamba and Ifraradisi, both peppy South African freedom hymns. And the audience experienced a sense of joy and celebration generally felt in true African American worship.
The CCMs always turn up with their own set of unique surprises. And on that highly musical note, it's time for us to say goodbye. You can of course stay in touch via our Facebook page, and until we meet again next week, keep smiling.